वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतङ्गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति. Let us offer our salutations to Lord Krishna, the embodiment of bliss, who came to establish dharma and punish the wicked. Let us pray to him to lead us from unreal to real, to lead us from darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge, to lead us from death to immortality. We are studying chapter 8, Yoga of Imperishable Brahman. In this chapter, Lord Krishna has very emphatically stated that he was that imperishable Brahman. But he who realizes this is very rare in this world. The purpose of reaching him, attaining him, would solve all our problems in life, which are caused by coming back and forth into this earth plane. We are continuously propelled by desires and desires, and we are just caught up in the net of desires. So reducing ourselves into a most terrible state, very difficult to get out. So Lord Krishna is giving us various methods by which we should struggle to get out of this mess created by our own actions, and he is assuring us that by surrendering to him, one is released from all these sins. All the sins will be burnt down. All the entanglements will be cut off. Well, each one's life on this earth is a journey. We are all making a journey towards the destiny, namely realization of the divine. But knowingly or unknowingly, we are all proceeding in the journey. Knowingly, if you do, you can take many positive corrective steps so that you can move fast without much hindrance in the spiritual path. So, the idea is we need to know. We need to know the methods, and we need to apply ourselves wholeheartedly, and we must anchor up to the realization. All these things are very essential. Lord Krishna says in the verse number 15, Mamupeti punajjanma dukkhalayam ashashvatam napnuvanti mahatmana samsiddhim paramam gataha. Having attained me, the great souls are no more subject to rebirth, which is the abode of pain and is transitory, for they have reached the highest perfection, that is liberation. They are called great souls because they are able to attain the Supreme Lord of the universe. You should note the whole cosmos is strictly governed by the divine power. It's not chaotic as people think. People are chaotic, not the creation. Creation is going according to its own set of rules. But people, on account of their different tendencies, are creating the heaven-hell. We're all supposed to live happily, peacefully, joyfully, but we do just the opposite. So all this violence, hatred is going on because of our own misbehavior and not acting properly in the life. Anyway, we have to pay very high price, and we are paying for that. Throughout the world there is lot of violence and crime. They are increasing because nobody is caring proper attention to develop character, to develop integrity, honesty, nothing of that sort. People are becoming more and more greedy, calculating, selfish, uncharitable, cruel, brutal, all these things. So, Sri Krishna says, I am easily attainable by one who constantly remembers me. And he is telling us any god's form, any goddess form is his own form. He tells, whatever form you choose and worship, I instill faith in that form which you are worshipping. What is needed is sincere, practical, spiritual life. So people who constantly remember the Lord and attain Him, they are always established in divine consciousness. That's why they are ever cheerful, any time of the day, from waking to night, even midnight. If you go and see, their face is full of cheerfulness. I myself had that opportunity to see Yatishwaranandaji, one of our great monks of the Ramakrishna order, who was a disciple of Swami Brahmanandaji, coming from a very good family, and his mind would be always on a very high plane. Swamiji would say that anybody coming to him, he would see the god or goddess form in that particular being who is approaching Swamiji. Suppose you are a worshipper of the Kali, you are going to meet him, you will see Kali in you. Suppose you are a worshipper of Krishna, you will see Krishna in you. Only towards the end, when he fell sick, he thought and decided all his spiritual powers are overspent. And he was so definite he would not live more than a month. The headquarters Belur Math came to take him to Belur Math to make him president of the Ramakrishna order. And the General Secretary of the Ramakrishna order came there, Nireshwaranandaji. But then Swamiji said, why do you want me to make president? I won't live more than a month. Why Swamiji, why are you talking like that? You look very healthy. Because Swami is a very good looking, good personality and cheerful. And his sevaks, attendants were there. All the sevaks were telling, Swamiji, we will take all care about you. please accept to become president. Then Swamiji said, no, I am not getting any suggestion from Brahmaji Maharaj. If any new assignment comes to him, he would ask him in his meditation. He must get the assurance, otherwise he won't take. Even to become the vice president, he got the assurance from Brahmaji. Accepted. He accepted it. Same thing did not happen when he was elected as president. And he could not see the divine forms of the beings who come to see him. So he concluded his ayus is over. Literally it became true. They took him to Belur Math. Within a month he passed away. That's the story. So they are always established in divine consciousness. The secret is totally revealed to them. That is called liberation while living on this plane. So such people, they constantly see the divine presence everywhere. The mind is totally free from taints of rajas and tamas, and they have reached the highest perfection. Liberation is that highest state. Through constant spiritual practices, they attain the abode of the divine. There, they are illumined by spiritual knowledge. For such beings, there is no more rebirth. Otherwise, normally speaking, all of us are subject to rebirth. And to make us know, to make us realize that rebirth is the abode of misery and impermanent. These miseries popping up after rebirth are explained in the Garbhopanishad. 3 types of miseries such as Adhyatmika, Adibhautika and Adidaivika, they always follow up. In every birth, we are subjected to these 3 types of miseries. Whatever experienced in this birth, such as fever, headache, itching, etc., they are called as Adhyatmika miseries pertaining to body. Those that happen outside the body, for example, the biting of the scorpion, snakes, hitting the stone, trampling the thorns, etc., causing miseries, these are called Adi Bhautika. Adi Bhautika. Those that happen outside the body, not visible to senses, caused by nature, such as earthquakes, famines, floods, etc., they are called Adi Daivika. So, after getting rebirth, these 3 types of miseries come and attack us in one way or other. Till one attains realization of the divine, one would have to come back and forth. Birth after birth he has to come. Whatever birth one has taken up, there would be misery. There is no life without misery on this plane. Even the emperors will have full of worries in their heads. Whatever we call happiness in this world are not eternal. This world is impermanent, is quite evident from death. How happiness obtained from perishables be eternal? Either one should give up things of the world, or things get away from him. This cannot be escaped. So one suffers at the separation of things. Compared to Paramatman, this world and its pleasures appear trivial, mixed with miseries. Next verse. Abrahma bhuvana lokaha punaravartino arjuna mamupechyudu kaunteya punajjanma na vidyate. The dwellers in all the worlds, from the realm of Brahma downward, are subject to rebirth again. But those who reach me, that is Krishna is telling to Arjuna, there is no further rebirth. In all the other worlds, temporary stay, subject to various types of miseries. In the Upanishads it is said, there are two types of liberation. One is called Sadhyo Mukti and the other called Krama Mukti. Those who attain liberation in this very birth need not have to go to any other lokas. They are liberated here itself. They have attained Sadhyo Mukti. People sometimes get doubt. Is there any other loka other than earth? They think this earth is only loka. But there are infinite lokas. Anything that you take in this cosmos goes to infinity. And Sri Ramakrishna himself tells in his meditation, he went to all the different lokas. He saw all the different gods and goddesses. Those who do Saguna Brahmopasana attain Brahmaloka and gain knowledge, then they are liberated. That's called Krama Mukti, gradual liberation. Besides these two types of liberation, there is another one called Savikalpa Mukti. Through Panchagni Upasana, the sadhaka attain Brahmaloka and stay there up to the end of Kalpa. They will not return till the end of the Kalpa. This is the speciality of this region. Whereas those who get into the loka of Indra, Agni, Varuna and others would have to return many times during one Kalpa itself. Anyway, whoever reaches all the lokas, including Brahma, Brahma means not Parabrahman, Chaturmukha Brahma, Brahmaloka, what we call Satyaloka, they would not escape returning back to the earth. All the other lokas are meant for temporary stay. It depends upon the availability of your merits, how far you are merited. Once your merit is over, you are just thrown out of the place. The attainment of Brahmaloka is of two categories. Those who reach Brahmaloka through Upasana, they would attain liberation along with Brahma and thus would not return back to earth. Brahma is also a position, like Prime Minister, President, etc. Brahma is a position. Indra, Brahma, they are all positions. Anybody can become Brahma, provided he has got merit. In fact, Hanuman served Sri Ramchandra so well. Sri Ramchandra embraced him and blessed him that he would be next Brahma in the next Kalpa. He would be next Brahma. So it's already declared by Sri Ramchandra. But those who attain Brahmaloka through performance of deeds would have to come back to this earth. So, Lord Krishna gives the message that one should not hanker after these lokas and their pleasures. As long as one's merits last, one can enjoy heavenly regions. Once that is exhausted, one is bound to return to this earth plane. So till your merit, the people in the heavenly regions, they serve you with all comforts. And once that merit is over, you are tossed over down to this earth. So there's famous story of Nahush Chakravarti, you all know that in Bhagavata it comes. He rose to the position of Indra because he did Ashwamedha Yaga 100 times. So the rule is whoever has done Ashwamedha 100 times will become the Indra of the heavens. So accordingly he became Indra. But after some time he became so arrogant, full of ambitions about power. Anyway, once he saw Shachi, the wife of Indra, was moving in the gardens. So he was attracted by her and he sends the word that she should come to him to give pleasure. The rule in heavens is nobody should disobey Indra. That's the rule. So now Shachi was a great fix what to do. Immediately she went to Brihaspati. And Brihaspati said, don't worry, we'll take care of that. You simply accept and tell him to come to your home. We'll take care of it. She got little assurance and hope that she would be saved. Then she sent the word to Nahush, you are welcome to our place. Like that. He was so happy. He could not waste any more time. Immediately he started off. He wanted to reach as quickly as possible. So he ordered the palanquin, and in that hasty, he ordered all the Saptarshis to come and take the palanquin. Saptarshis to carry his palanquin, he will be sitting inside the palanquin and they should carry his palaki. They didn't talk, they simply obeyed. But as long as his merit is there, nobody can take him out from his position of ruling the heaven. So the rishis thought his merits should be exhausted. What's the way to exhaust his merits? So the rishis began to question about scriptures, about Vedas, etc. This fellow was full of lust in the mind. He could not answer any questions. All the questions were answers were faulty. Every time he made a faulty answer, he would lose his merit. So the climax is the palaki was not going in a proper way. It was creating bumps, and the king became very angry. Why it is creating so much bumps here? Cannot carry properly? And Agastya Maharshi was the shortest of all the rishis, and he could not walk in the same way as other rishis would walk. So he came to know about that. You know what he did? He kicked him. Look at his arrogance. That is the last thing. Kicked him and said him. You know what he said? Sarpa Sarpa. Sarpa means in Sanskrit two meanings. Sarpa means quick, go quick. Sarpa also means snake. So when he said that, Agastya Maharshi said, all right, you become Sarpa. Finished. His merit was exhausted totally. Just he was tossed from the heavens. It dropped on the earth as a python, big python, 20 feet length. huge body. And he felt very sorry for that. Such a great person falling down. But then it is said, if his body is touched by Dharmaraja, if Dharmaraja's feet, Yudhishthira's Dharmaraja's feet, then he will be released from that Python state. Anyway, all the other lokas are like that. Once the merit is gone, you are thrown out. Thrown out where? On this plane. You have to come here to undergo Adi Bhautika, Adi Devika, Adhyatmika miseries. So Lord Krishna says, one should not hanker after those lokas and their pleasures. Reject them. I don't want any pleasure. I don't want all such nonsense. I want you, O Lord. I want you. If you have that kind of zealousness, then you will get success. You will get succeed in spiritual life. You will get success in spiritual life. So, another point we should note, even in the heavenly regions, there are flaws. Such as Kshaya, Patana and Satishya. Kshaya means decreasing. Patita means destroying. Satishya means feeling jealous over the superiors. These are the flaws in the heavenly regions. An example is given. Once a judge ordered a criminal to undergo imprisonment for 20 years. The criminal was made to change prison houses 3-4 times for some reason or other, from one prison house to another prison house, like that. Each time when the criminal was transferred to another prison, 2 cops would always escort him. When the punishment was over, the man would return to his home. There would be no more the following of cops, because now he was free. Even so, the man has fallen into bondage on account of his various sins committed in his life after life. Just as the criminal was made to go to different prison houses, the man keeps on changing his bodies. Every new birth means new body, another body. Not necessarily human body. Any body. He is under the surveillance of 2 cops. Who are the 2 cops here? Merit and demerit. Papa, Punya. These are the cops. They always follow you. Papa and Punya. On the realization of the Paramatman, he becomes free, as if returned to his real home. Till one attains Paramatman, he must keep on coming and going from whatever loka he had gone. So, one has to be careful. If you are aspiring for spiritual success, you should never ask the boon of pleasures. If God comes and asks you, ask for any boon. Oh Lord, give me a boon that I would enjoy heaven. Don't ask. Don't ask for any pleasures. They are always mixed up with some kind of misery. Ask for the bliss of the Lord Himself, nothing else. Here we said those who reach Brahma Loka on account of their merit, they live there up to Brahma Kalpa. Here we should know what is the Brahma Kalpa. This is very nicely described in our scriptures. Very precisely, mathematical calculations they have given. Now, yugas, Maha Yuga, the smallest cycle is called a Maha Yuga. A Maha Yuga is 4,320,000 human years. Is called one Maha Yuga. Each Maha Yuga is subdivided into following 4 ages, whose lengths follow a ratio of 4:3:2:1. Full of mathematics. The first Yuga is called Satya Yuga. It's also called as Krita Yuga. This first age, Krita Yuga, is 1,728,000 human years, its duration. Also known as the Golden Age or the Age of Truth. Each Yuga has got specifics. This Satya Yuga, the qualities of this age are virtue reigns supreme. Human stature is 21 cubits. Lifespan is 100,000 years in Krita Yuga. And death occurs only when willed, Ichchamaran. That is the characteristics of Satya Yuga. Treta Yuga is 1,296,000 human years. It's also known as the Silver Age. Satya Yuga is called Golden Age. Treta Yuga is called Silver Age. The qualities of this age are: the climate is 3/4 virtue and 1/4 sin. Human stature is 14 cubits. See, from 21 cubits is reduced to 14 cubits. Lifespan 10,000 years. Now Dwapar Yuga. This is, the period is reduced much, 864,000 human years for this Dwapar Yuga. Is also known as Bronze Age. Gold, silver, bronze. The qualities of this age are: the climate is 1/2 virtue and 1/2 sin. Lifespan is 1,000 years. Now comes the Kali Yuga, in which we are living. The period of this Yuga is 432,000 human years. Kali Yuga lasts till then. Also known as Iron Age. This is the age in which we are presently living. The qualities of this age are: the climate is 1/4 virtue, 3/4 sin. Human stature is 3.5 cubits. Lifespan is 100 or 120 years. Different. Now, Brahma Days, Chaturmukha Brahma, a kalpa is a single day time period in the life of Brahma, the creator God. 2 kalpas are a day and a night of Brahma. Each kalpa is composed of 1000 Maha Yugas. I have already told about Maha Yuga. A kalpa is thus equal to, one Brahma kalpa means 4.32 billion human years. 4.32 billion human years is one kalpa of Brahma, Chaturmukha Brahma. At the end of Brahma's daytime period, the 3 worlds, Bhuloka, Bhurloka, Swarloka, and the 7 underworlds of the Nagas are temporarily dissolved. That's called Pralaya. The same souls will be reincarnated when the next day of Brahma begins. Vishnu Purana states that at the end of the daytime period of Brahma, a dreadful drought occurs that lasts 100 years, and all the waters are dried up. The sun changes into 7 suns, and the 3 worlds, Bhuloka, Bhurloka or the lowest heaven, and Swarloka, the next higher heaven, and the underworlds are burned bare of life. The inhabitants of Bhurloka and Swarloka flee to the next higher heaven, Maharloka, to escape the heat, and then to the next region, heaven, Janaloka. Then mighty clouds form, and the 3 worlds are completely flooded with water. Lord Vishnu reposes on the waters in meditative rest for another whole kalpa, that is for a period of 4.32 billion years before renewing the creation. The destruction that takes place at the end of a daytime of Brahma is referred to as Naimittika, which is incidental or occasional. The characteristic of this destruction is that the 3 worlds continue to exist but are made uninhabitable. The souls of individuals also continue to exist to be born again in the next daytime of Brahma. A year of Brahma is composed of 360 day or night cycles of Brahma, or 720 kalpas, or 8.64 billion human years. Brahma's life. The life of Brahma is 100 Brahma years. That is 72,000 kalpas, or 300.4 trillion human years. At the end of the life of Brahma, all worlds are completely dissolved, and that is called Mahapralaya. Another cycle that overlaps the others is that of Manvantras. Each kalpa is reigned over by a succession of 14 Manus, and the reign of each Manu is called Manvantara. A single Manvantara is approximately 71 Mahayugas. Each Manvantara is followed by a deluge which destroys the existing continents and swallows up all living beings, except the few who are preserved for the repeopling of the earth. We are located in the 51st Brahma year of the life of our Brahma. We are located in the 51st Brahma year of the life of our Brahma. Within that Brahma year, we are in the first Brahma day called the Varaha Kalpa. Within that Brahma day, we are in the 7th Manvantara and in the 28th Maha Yuga of that Manvantara. This would place us at about 454th Maha Yuga of the 1000 Maha Yugas that comprise this day of Brahma. Within this Maha Yuga, we are in Kali Yuga. The 5100th year of Kali Yuga will correspond to the year 2000 AD. That means that we are fairly early in Kali Yuga, and this age will continue 426,000 more years. So till then Kali Yuga stands. Anyway, it's all very with a great precision. Everything is calculated and described in the scriptures. The whole thing is done strictly according to the law, cosmic law of the Divine Lord. So we shall continue, stop here, we shall continue next Tuesday. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Let us offer a salutation to Lord Krishna, the embodiment of bliss, who came to establish dharma and punish the wicked. Peace, peace, peace be unto all.